What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. Alright, guys. It's the moment you've been waiting for. It's the moment that we've been waiting for. Okay? It is the, but look. It's now time to finally put a cap on this DCEU, because right now, me and Prime got an opportunity to go see the highly anticipated superhero movie of this year, The Flash. Yes, we had superhero movies all throughout the year. We had Guardians of the Galaxy, it was great. We had Across the Spider-Verse, which was great. And we got Blue Beetle coming out. We got Aquaman coming out. There's a lot of superhero stuff to go around this year. But The Flash was one of the most highly anticipated movies that we've had, especially with it being in development hell since this movie's supposed to come out in 2018. Mm-hmm. That's how long ago this movie was supposed to come out, and now it's 2023, and with the falling of different directors and things that just going away with the DCEU, we finally got it, using this as the reboot point to go into the DCU now. And of course, we know the controversy surrounding Ezra Miller, so what we tried to do was to go into this movie and just watch it as a movie. I couldn't put all the Ezra Miller stuff going on and let his actions of stupidity judge this movie that a lot of other people are responsible for as well. So I went there with that open mind. Was it easy for you prior to going there with that open mind?
It was way easier for me because not about Ezra, just I've been busy on set, so I really just went to this to take my mind off of. So I didn't even think of Ezra Miller as that person. I just thought of it as Flash.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I just took everybody out of it. Michael Keaton wasn't Michael Keaton. He was just
Yeah, he was.
Everybody was out of it for me.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a good way to put it. So, and like I said, just like you mentioned, this movie is starring Michael Keaton. It has Ben Affleck in it. It has, Supergirl. These are also from the trailers. So I'm not spoiling anything. This is going to be a non-spoiler review, but I know I want to get this one out. So I'm going to give y'all some of the good, some of the bad, and then after we talk about that, give you our rating, then we'll go into some mild spoilers for you guys, and that's when y'all can cut the video off, or y'all can stop listening, whatever the case may be. But starting off with the good, I'm going to say this right now. Despite the stuff that is going on personally, Ezra Miller's good in this movie.
He's good in this movie. And okay, I know people say, "Oh, I was annoyed with him and stuff," but I'm like, you were supposed he's 18-year-old,
Barry Allen.
Weird. Barry, yeah, I'm like, what? Of course you're gonna be annoyed with 18-year-old Barry. He was almost annoying when Justice League when you first seen him. So I was like, yeah, what you expect him to all of a sudden be mature?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But also, I like that young Barry was annoying because it showed the growth from old Barry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, because first of all, the Flash is awkward. This is a socially awkward Flash. So I get that. But however, from when he first debuted in Justice League to or the cameo in Batman v Superman, he has developed as a character all the years ago. So now he's an adult. Whereas now we're going backwards and getting 18-year-old Barry Allen, and it's like because at the beginning he was annoying as fuck, but it balanced because the older Barry was sitting there having to be the adult in the room, and that's still hard to play two different characters and also knowing that you're acting and that nobody is there, you're feeding off anybody. That is even when Eddie Murphy does it.
When they did it, there was a stand-in, so it wasn't a person there, but it wasn't I don't think he was acting with them. I think they're just for the body.
Yeah, I'm just saying it just standing for the body, but that's still hard to do and hard for a mode to get in and to be able to just be able to because it felt like they were both just there.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like they were both there. So I have to give it to Barry Allen. I think the whole Ezra Miller thing, he did a terrific job in the movie, help especially. And the one thing I also like, it feels like a Flash movie. It doesn't feel like
Okay.
it doesn't feel like, hey, we're gonna do like a Justice League movie with a little bit of Flash
That's
in there.
I think, not gonna lie to you, and this is just me personally, I probably would have liked that too. Even what we got was cool. I would have liked that too. Like I would have been opposed if it was like called like Justice League Flashpoint or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could understand what you're coming from. If they were to do that, it would have been a more bigger, ambitious style movie to the point where you really can't be doing all these screens. It's like there's a lot of things you could do because you can actually go by what they did in the cartoon and have the Atlanteans against Themyscira, against the Amazons, and have that whole war thing going on. There's a lot you could have did with it, but the way they took it, I think I liked it. I'll explain why. Also,
I have a question.
Sure.
Because I like that everything is connected, but I kind of sometimes wish that they would do one-offs. But are they able to do that?
When you say one-offs, you mean like
Justice League War? That was a one-off, but it was still it's DC, but it's a one-off. It's not like in the DC AU.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Justice League War and Flashpoint Paradox and Throne of Atlantis is all part of that DC AU.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
One of them is not.
Throne of Atlantis is a direct sequel from
Throne of Atlantis, and
because Flashpoint Paradox.
One of them, Flashpoint isn't. I don't think.
Flashpoint Paradox is what changes the universe over to Justice League War.
Yes, but I'm saying so. Flashpoint technically isn't the same. That's not the same actors. It's
Yeah,
that's what I meant. So,
yeah. Okay. So then after War, it comes Throne of Atlantis. So they have.
Yeah, I know those are connected. Okay, I had to make sure. I know one of them wasn't because they look different. Yeah. That's why. So
I think if
Flashpoint.
if the rumors gain any weight, if Netflix decides they want to buy, hire Zack Snyder, I think we could probably get someone else because that will be a avenue where this current Justice League can exist. But
not even that. I just would like some movies that don't have to be in the multiverse. Like, even though we got Robert Pattinson's Batman and all that, but I would want bigger stories, just like a one time thing.
Oh well, James Gunn did say that we're going to get Elseworld stories. He did say that. So we got Joker 2 coming out this year. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have another The Batman, and we're going to have some other titles that's not part of the DCEU. Or the DCU. That's going to probably be like Elseworld stories. So they can possibly make a Justice League one-off in a live action format.
But if they do that, will it be like Pattinson's Bat, or would we just do a whole new that's what I'm thinking. If we do an Elseworld story, will we have to use the quote unquote Elseworld Batman, or do we
to be honest with you, I don't know.
I'm just thinking.
I know, but that's a good question. Also, the only things I like, Michael Keaton returning and putting on the crowd as Batman. And I did not know they was gonna make Michael Keaton this thorough in this movie. I'm sorry.
I got goods and bads about that, but I'll save it.
Okay, well, save it for the bad part, but for the good part, I was like, okay, because I've seen both of the 1989 Batman and the 1992 Batman with Michael Keaton in there, and I was like, yeah, it was cool, but these fight scenes in this one, I was like, oh, they upped him up for real. And
he can move his head.
Say what?
Because he can move his head in this. That was barely. Turn his head.
I would say barely, but I was like, oh man, he is really getting it. He's getting it in right now. So that is one of the things I was like, oh man, I was really hyped for that. So seeing that and then having the little jokes that he had from the old school Batman movies, I was sitting there thinking okay, I'm liking everything. I didn't know how it was going to be, especially how it was going to translate to this, this Flash also. Having Supergirl in there instead of Superman, because usually anybody who, and this is not a spoiler, anybody who knows Flashpoint, Supergirl played the role that Superman would have had in that movie. but they did Supergirl. I was like, with the way they explained the whole multiverse of time travel with the spaghetti, I was like, okay, I'm cool with Supergirl. And she was good in the movie too. She wasn't as long as everybody thought she was gonna be in there, but when she was in there, she was good. Oh, you disagree?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking about the multiple times. That's all I'm gonna say. Is multiple things happened to her.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you round down. Okay. Do you have anything you want to add for your likes?
Yeah, no, I like the action. I like Keaton, him doing his thing. I like Supergirl's her whole action scene when she first was introduced to Supergirl. I like that whole scene.
It was very Brightburn-esque, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like other scenes too, but I think my most thrilling was the Keaton escape scene, I guess you call it.
Oh, when they was escaping from the Russian base.
Yeah, that whole when they get there from when they escape, I think Keaton is like my favorite part of that whole thing.
Oh yeah, he's badass. He's old school. I was like, yo, this Batman is thorough. And even first of all, they took care of all the Batman scenes because even Ben Affleck's Batman had a kick-ass scene in the beginning.
Yeah, well.
That whole car chase, I thought that whole car chase.
The car chase was cool, but after that,
fair enough. So then of course we Irish West comes back in the movie. I think she's good. Her part's not as long. There are tons of cameos.
Well, sorry. Before you get to when you get into the Irish, I'm going to say I'm upset. Or kind of not upset because I don't know if Snyder cut is canon or heavy canon to this. Because she said, "Didn't I see you a couple years ago?"
I'm gonna tell you this. They reference more Snyder cut than they did Justice League. I'm going with the Snyder cut. I'm about to say what does it hurt anyway? They're both going to be reset anyway,
Well, yeah. So but when she was like, "Oh, haven't I seen you?" and I'm like, "You was looking right at him when he saved you." Other than that, I can't think of no other moment. So that's I was like,
Yeah, they definitely him and Bruce Wayne both referenced the Snyderverse because the Snyder cut. Because remember, Bruce was talking about when he was explaining to him about changing the past. Remember when they got blown up and he brought them all back to bring back Superman? Mm-hmm. When Cyber was part about the mother boxes. So 2 references to the Snyder cut. So I'm just like, they don't even pay attention to the Josh's League anymore. They don't.
Okay.
I'm about to say, and shit, I wouldn't either. To be the only good thing that Josh Whedon did for that Justice League movie was lighten it up. That was it. Had the bright, had brighter colors. I was cool with that. Other than that, shit, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That movie was ass anyway. So with those being the goods, let's get some of the things that we did not like about the movie. And
you're gonna talk about. Well, we can say that for the spoilers.
Okay, but number one, the VFX, bruh. I'm sorry. They did not look great on certain things. And now here's the thing. I know the director of The Flash. What's his name? Andres
something.
Yeah, he was saying that a lot of VFX was done like that on purposely for the exaggerated effect because of what Barry is seeing. Here's the thing: when it came to him being in the Chrono Ball and him going through the chapters of his life, I could understand that being exaggerated and being in that way. Even at the end, I could understand it being that way, even though to me it wasn't that exaggerated. But however, that opening scene with the tragedy that happened, I was just like, okay, that looks bad. But however, I do understand why they did it that way. And not to spoil too much, but Flash is saving a bunch of babies that's falling out of the building. And I think that they made the babies look not as real is because of, I guess, to be honest with you, trigger warnings. To the point like seeing an actual baby, fall to its death is not something you should be swallowing. And I think it was made to look like that on purpose to bring some of the silliness of it in there as well. So I wasn't too mad at that. But there were some times when they had to put Ben Affleck's face on the guy riding the motorcycle because that was a stunt actor because Ben Affleck wasn't there. That stuff was kind of bad,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it's just for me traveling and me just like trying to take myself out of it. I didn't notice it. I noticed some of the bad ones. I didn't notice all of the bad ones until I started looking at it. I was like, oh wait, that was bad. But like doing the baby's part, I was not looking like, oh, that's bad CGI. I was just like, oh, okay. Like I was not, like I told you, I was dozed off in the beginning. So I was like, I was not interested in these babies getting saved. So I'm just like, whatever. Like I was really in the thing like, okay, sure, whatever. So I guess I need to watch it again, like for some parts, because like, and I can't just be nonchalant, but I was definitely in the movie, like not falling asleep, but kind of in that mode of let me wait till it heats up, kind of thing.
Oh, so okay, so you was like, okay, it's simmering, but then when it start cooking, what I'm saying, that's what you want to.
Because when he was like, oh, you gotta, what he told him, oh, you gotta rewire. What did he have to do with the wires? What did he have to do with the wires? When he was doing all that, I was like, well, I'm not gonna watch this because what for what?
He had to rewire the electrical and the plumbing down there. He was like, I'm basically like the Justice League's janitor. When he was down there, and then that's when the foundation of the building fell down.
Yeah,
and
because how
did
the floor just how?
Because
I didn't know John Cena attitude adjustment somebody threw 4 floors again.
It busts out the foundation because of how I think it was the explosion that happened down there, and it caused the bust of the foundation. So that if the building got no foundation, the building's going to fall. So
does the concrete.
Yeah, it's kind of like when 9/11 happened, right, and the buildings collapsed onto the foundation. It crashed about a lot of feet underground. So when the foundation is damaged, they can't hold, no matter how heavy or strong the building is, all that stuff is going to come down. All of it. So yeah. So that happens. That little CGI, problem. The CGI problem I noticed the most was, well, I'm gonna say one scene where he first notices, like, he goes back and he it's like a little bubble and he pokes his head out. Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of. I was like, that's not good. And then some scenes with the suit.
Yeah, it had that Iron Man Civil War suit type thing going on.
Yeah. Especially the one scene. Whatever scene, I don't know if he gets struck by lightning. One of the scenes where he's getting struck or something, and he's like, oh, and he's like trying to show emotion, but I'm like, I can't see the emotion because all I see is this bad suit in the background.
I know exactly what you talk about. Yeah,
but then again, I seen that shot in the church.
Hello?
And I was like, oh, that's not good. But then when I see it in the movie, it's the same shot.
Yeah, I was like, did y'all not fix anything? You know what I'm saying? But sure, whatever the case may be. That was no day. When it came to like who the antagonist was in the movie, I was like, okay, we've done this. I get it. Would I have preferred somebody else? Not trying to give too many spoilers away, but yeah, I would have. But I would have preferred somebody else, even if it's not the person that you're thinking. I would have preferred like somebody like a actual. We have to actually defeat somebody. I get that. Like I said, I understand that they use Zod for the main conflict, but Zod was not the main bad guy in this movie, to say the least. But I do appreciate they used General Zod, as the catalyst for the Atlanteans taking on the Amazons. So I was like, okay, General Zod is going to be the big thing. And seeing Michael Shannon back and seeing Ferraro back and seeing all them back from Man of Steel.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he came back to me.
Well, he already.
They put a green screen to me in because I don't know.
Oh no, he came back.
They probably did Thomas Hayden Church in No Way Home. Just use his voice.
No, they didn't do that one. No, he actually came back because Michael Shannon was doing interviews and he was talking about. He was already bashed, talking about how much he didn't enjoy this role like he did in Man of Steel because he felt as though his creative freedom was down. And I was just like, damn. Let the movie come out first, Michael Shannon, before you start, stomping on it like that, So, that was, when it came to the antagonist, when it came to, maybe some of the stuff was the VFX, in the most. I felt as though I like I said, I enjoyed the cameos throughout the whole movie. There wasn't really a bad cameo I disliked.
I'm gonna be honest with you. People were saying people were like, oh, the effects on the cameos were bad. I didn't notice it, and even when they mentioned it, I still didn't notice it. So I guess I just I just shut my brain off. I don't know.
No, it wasn't shut your brain off. It's a matter of opinion, or it's a matter of what's already bothering you. Because to me, at the end, the VFX did not bother me at all. Like I said, but then once again, I can understand that certain VFX look certain ways, and I understand that. But there were certain VFX that was just bad. But the ones at the end was not bad to me.
The cameos weren't bad, but the effects as like the disco balls were bad to me. That was supposed to be the different multiverse that was clashing in on each other. Yes. Now the actual cameos and everything was not bad. Like I said, they look like them to me. Like I guess I just wasn't paying attention. But the disco balls was not needed for me.
I can understand that, or the Christmas ornaments. Yeah, I can understand that. I would actually like to see more cameos. Because I
would have liked to see, and they were supposed to be more, but I guess they didn't. They're supposed to have, other people in there.
That is something I was gonna talk about on the spoiler side, or maybe.
Okay, well we can wait.
Spoiler side, yeah.
I want to talk about My Bad with Michael Keaton.
Okay,
and this is just a nitpick to me. I would have liked if he showed the old age just a little bit.
After that tackle, bro, I think he kind of showed how old he was.
No, I'm talking about in the first, when we first see him. Okay, cool. I'm talking about when he suits up as Batman.
Yeah.
There was no I got to get back into this. There's no nothing. It's just he's just automatically Batman, and he
You know what? I can agree with you on that, Park. I was like, where's the conflict at? Like, why do I want to? If Gotham is okay. According to what he said, if Gotham is safe right now and they don't really need a Batman, that's why he's been in retirement. What's going to make me go out other than just saying, "Okay, I'll help"?
Even other than that, I would have wished he threw a kick. He was like, "Oh, that's stiff," or "Oh, I got to stretch first," or something. Kind of like how Peter did in No Way Home. He was stretching first, something. Because you can't just do all that and you 70 and you you ain't been doing this for years. You taking bumps. You ain't take bumps in how long?
To be fair, he did allude to his age. He may have not showed it much, but remember when they was in the Russian base, and when both the Barrys got stopped by the Russian army, and then he's at the top this is gonna be kind of scary, and he flew down. And he flew down, was just like, yeah, okay, I'm Batman, but this is gonna be a minute. I ain't done this in a while, so it's going. He mentioned it. He did have some moments where he mentioned it, but when it comes showing it or stretching, he didn't do that. I can understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me thing, because obviously he did do the whole thing in the beginning.
Yeah,
but that's not enough for me. That's not enough for you to not be Batman for at least, as we know, at least 20 years. At least 20.
It's been a long time for him to grow hair like that.
Yeah, so I'm saying through all this, I would like to see a little bit of, struggle or something. Supergirl could have did a little more to me. Even though I know she has the Clark role in Flashpoint, but she could have did a little more.
I mean, to be honest with you, compared to Flashpoint, she did more than Clark did.
She did more than Clark did, but I'm talking about more as in like, because we don't know her. Like a lot of people don't know her, so like I just wish they would like kind of introduced it, kind of explain some things more. Like I know who she is. I'm saying like for the casuals as well.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in here that I was like, well, the casuals are not going to understand.
Yeah,
yeah.
My son being one of them. I was just like, they got so much fan service in here, but it's also they almost treat it like a Marvel movie. Like, hey, if you've been riding with the DCEU since 10 years ago in 2013, we're going to give it all to you. If you haven't been, sucks to suck. Like that's how they was treating it. Yeah. So I could understand. You probably want some of that stuff more fleshed out. I mean, I completely get that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have any more bad before we get to the spoilers, or you want to just?
I mean, other than that, I felt this like what I had like a little bit more cameos. Yeah, I want, and then because I understand why they had to change certain things because of circumstances. But when it comes to the Flash, my grade, I'm gonna give it a damn near perfect. It's not yet a Nerdgasm. I wanted to be a Nerdgasm so bad. But it's not quite there yet. But it's a damn near perfect. There's some things that I wish that they could have changed and fixed up on, and if they did, that would have been a complete Nerdgasm. But it's not there for me just yet. But it's just damn near perfect. How about you?
Yeah, I would give it a B. But I think this movie suffers from Flashpoint, the comic and the movie being so good that it's going to be compared to everything.
Yes.
Because I like the pacing of this movie. I like that it's more story driven. It's not that much scenes or action or anything. I like that it's more story driven.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want action. I get it. It's an action movie, but I like how they kind of paced it out to me.
Yeah. No,
so I give it a B.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. So, guys.
Also, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I like the scene where they in the lab and he's doing his stupid run.
That was funny. And you know what? Because they actually make a joke about that. Because he said it's supposed to look like he's swimming through, the Speed Force. And they even made fun of how dumb that run is. I was like,
yeah.
I know
that was funny. They fixed it. I would say because in the first scene when he runs, it don't look the same.
It fixed it a little bit, but his takeoff is still kind of wonky.
Yeah, no, his takeoff is. But I'm talking about like from the scene in Justice League Snyder Cut where he's running, he has the funny run, but then when he takes off in this one, it's still funny, but it's not like he got his arms more straight, but his wrist still flicks,
Yeah.
But then in that one scene, he just going around doing it slow. I was like, oh my God.
I want to say this: the movie is hella funny.
Yeah.
The movie does take good jobs, with the jokes. It is hella funny. So yeah, you gave it a B. I gave it a damn near perfect. I think it's a really good time. I think it's one of the better DCEU movies. Now since we're going in, there's one post credit scene. You can stay for it. You don't have to. Huh?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't stay for it?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, if you
I didn't know what it was, but I had to catch my Uber, but I still was not like, I was definitely not. I'm glad I didn't stay for it, because I would have been like, yeah, I stayed 10 minutes for this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, so I wonder how this thing in the future is going to go, especially with the news that we got about this weekend.